This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Good morning, sir. How are you doing?
Good morning. How are you?
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Just taking advantage of this Bitcoin and crypto dip right now, which is a beautiful thing, a beautiful opportunity. I was talking about how we look at the Dolphin offense and we look at some of the additions and we can kind of figure out what they're going to be. On your side, I still don't know what the hell they're going to be because I don't know how effective the passing game is going to be. I don't know how effective the tight ends are going to be. I don't know how healthy the running backs and how heavy you're going to be able to use them. So are you going to be more run-oriented and then pass second, or are you going to be forced to pass a little bit more because the running game isn't as dominating? Although we're getting a feeling that the offensive line, the running game was kind of already turning the corner last year, that Mario is going to get that physical, punishing running game going, but it kind of leaves. There's still some gray, right?
Right.
Because of all the new stuff to it all, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think the question is Mario going to actually allow the passing game to thrive? In other words, he's going to let Cam Ward cut it loose and use, the big play receivers that they have, the experienced, productive receivers that they have, and use the tight end more than they did a year ago now that he's got a quarterback he trusts? Or is he going to continue to be Mario, the grinder, who wants to run the football and have balance? My gut tells me he's going to be the second guy. As much as the passing game may be the strength, I still think this is going to be a balanced offensive attack in the end.
Yeah, and that's interesting. And right now, can you figure who's going to be your number one wide receiver?
Well, it's probably going to be Restrepo just because he's the trusted guy, right? I think Cam Ward has a really good, chemistry with him and just feels comfortable throwing him the football. I think Jacoby George is sort of a big play threat on the outside. That's what he does best. And then, the kid they got out of Houston, he's another. He's basically the Colby Young replacement. A guy who's been productive, but not a big, huge wide receiver on the outside. Just another veteran, experienced pass catcher. So ultimately, I think their most talented guys are the youngest guys that they have, the freshmen that are in this class, the JoJo Traders of the world. Those are the big play, NFL type receivers. But these other guys are solid college wide receivers, and I think, it'll be Restrepo just because of where he is in the offense, that he's in the slot, and the fact that the tight ends, at least if you look at it last year, I mean, essentially he probably collected a lot of the catches that the tight end would normally get. So,
but you can't be top-notch ACC if Restrepo's your number one wide receiver. Come on,
right.
That cannot happen. Restrepo has to be your third wide receiver, to be quite honest, not your one or two. Mm-hmm. You need some big play guys. So George and others need to step up in a big time way.
Yeah, I mean, and you saw it at the beginning of the season, right? When they played Texas A&M and they beat Texas A&M, and you saw what a big deal Jacoby George was in that game. I think you're right. They need to have that explosiveness. And the best teams in college football, you look at the statistics, the teams that win 10, 11, 12 games, they're averaging 40, 41 points a game. And they're hitting the big play. They're averaging 6-7 yards a play because they get those big chunk plays. And so I think against good teams, Xavier Restrepo will be the number one guy. And I think on most Saturdays where Miami's clearly the better team, it's going to be Jacoby George and Sam Brown and some of the other guys that they have that are more explosive, because you can go to those big plays and probably hit on them more often.
With Mario's history, can you see him adjusting and saying, "Yeah, no, I either adjust or die here."
Right.
If I don't open it up, I probably will never be able to challenge for a championship in modern college football nowadays.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to be, in order for you to win with a run-oriented type offense, brother, you're going to have to be so dominant on defense and on offense running that it just, it's crazy.
Right. Michigan just finished winning the national title that way, but Michigan won at the line of scrimmage, right? They controlled both sides of the line of scrimmage.
I mean, it's that, bro.
Right.
There's no way they have that. No.
Well, they're trying. I mean, I think that's the way Mario's trying to build them. He's trying to build them like the old school Alabama. But what's happened in college football, and you look at the teams that made the playoff, the Texases, the Washingtons, even Alabama now. Alabama plays a wide open game with Jalen Milroe throwing the ball deep down the field. Most teams are going to need those big wide open offenses that score 40 points. They're going to need that to be elite. If you're not that, if you don't have those playmakers on the outside, which like you, I don't see that for Miami. I think there's good receivers. They're good college receivers, but there's no, to me, game-breaking NFL, hey, that guy's a dangerous take-it-to-the-house threat among the older guys. I think, again, some of the younger guys, I think JoJo Trader definitely has that in him, but he's a true freshman. So I think you're going to see more balance. You're going to see Miami run the football because that's who Mario is, because he believes in his offensive line. And, that's the way that they're going to win most Saturdays, scoring 30 to 35 points, creating a turnover or two on defense, and doing just enough to win the majority of the games. And you know what? I think most Miami fans would take that at this point. They just want to see them get to 10 or 11 wins and contend for a playoff spot.
No Moss, no Johnson, no Irvin, no Perrimans, no Blades.
In the ACC, Jacoby George is good enough to beat most of the teams. Like he'll be good enough to beat a Louisville by himself if he has a big day. He'll be good enough.
What happened? We always used to get the stud receivers, bro.
They're all going away to Ohio State and Alabama, dude. They're going to the teams that win championships, right?
They kidnapped Brian Hartline.
Dude, it's been that way a long time now, though. That's the thing. Oh, it's like this has been decades. The last Miami receiver drafted, was it Barrios? I think so. And I think the last first rounder was Dorsett in like 2014.
And he's not really a first rounder.
He was there because of his 40 time. So, yeah, I mean, wide receiver, you think about all the greats that came through here. It's not what it was, brother. Oh, look at how cute.
Yep, this is Ollie. This is Ollie. One of our four dogs and adoptees. Of course.
Nice.
We adopt all our dogs.
By the way, I'm sitting here today inside the New York Times building because The Athletic had a bunch of meetings, and you and I are doing this interview, and all I hear, I mean, this is New York City. All you hear is honking outside, bro. Like
yeah. Have you ever had like a room in New York City? Like, yeah, dude, yeah.
It's nonstop honking of the cars. It's ridiculous.
All night honking, sirens, ambulance sirens. Like, it's just, yeah, dude. It's exactly like how you hear in the movies.
Yeah,
it's exactly the same way when you're there. And if you have to get like a room, like there in Manhattan and in downtown. Yeah. Oh my God, yes.
And let me tell you, the smell of weed, it is ridiculous. The smell of weed is everywhere.
I think they want to start fining people for smoking weed on the streets or something like that. I don't know if they're actually going to do that, But
listen, man, as people sparking up everywhere down the street.
Let me tell you, Mayor Adams, he really kicks ass because he handles all the real tough issues. He went and got back the key from P. Diddy.
That was really big deal.
He retrieved the key from. I mean, Lord knows what that key opened in the city. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But Mayor Adams really tackling the tough issues for New York. Go get that key from P. Diddy. Come on,
yeah. That's important. That's important, brother.
Important. Yes, definitely, no doubt about it. Jesus Christ. All right, what do you got going on in the New York Times?
Well, I had an article come out today, another version of the ACC mailbag, the second installment of it. We did one last week. The second part came out this morning. I've got that feature story on Kobe Bryant's nephew, who's a 6'4", 200-pound safety over there in Las Vegas. Interesting kid to follow here the next year. He's only going to be a junior this year. So, and there'll be more football. Listen, I'm booking my travel to go to Charlotte. I'll be there all 4 days for the ACC Media Day. So I'll be there all 4 days talking to coaches, interviews, writing stories. So I'll be around, brother. But this is my first time in the New York Times building since the Athletic was bought by the New York Times. I got to tell you, it's pretty cool. I'd never been inside before.
Well, dude, while you're there,
Yeah.
Here's an idea that I gave them
Uh-huh.
when I worked for the Athletic a couple years ago, and since it's what I do, and it's not saying for me to do it. I just want what's best for you guys. How come the Athletic radio has not been, I talked to them about that. I said, hey man, I would love to help you guys build the Athletic radio where I could host and just bring all your talent, basketball, baseball, football, soccer, everything breaking. You bring your talent on and you create a channel for the Athletic, plus the times now. Now you can add the times. And then that way, it's a way for them to hear the talent and then go read their articles. And it's like the thing. I don't know why in today's world, with all the talent that you guys have, why hasn't that been done? You know what I'm saying?
I'm with you. I agree. But listen, I'll see if I get somebody's ear today, and I'm gonna pitch it for you.
Yeah. No, not for me. Not for me. I'm not saying it.
No, I'm saying for like representing you. I'm gonna say Big O came up with this idea. He told you guys we should be doing this.
Yeah, dude. I just never understood how you're paying for all these people. You have some best insiders in all kinds of different sports.
Right.
Saying college football, soccer, you've got NBA, you've got obviously all these things going on. Brother, take advantage of it, man.
Right.
And showcase your talent with one station where you can and then fans, since they subscribe, you already have the subscribers, they'll download the app.
Yeah.
And then they can listen to you because everybody's got a smartphone, a smart car, and a smart TV, dude. I don't know, man.
No, you're absolutely right, dude. You're absolutely right. We should have one go-to place for everybody. So
yeah, man, it would be. I think it would kick ass. All right, what do you got going on so folks can check you out there in New York City?
Yeah, just as I mentioned, a lot of college football coverage. Did the ACC mailbag, have the feature story coming out on Kobe Bryant's nephew tomorrow, and more Kane stuff in the weeks ahead. So I'll be busy.
All right, follow him on Twitter at Manny_Navarro. Manny, as always, thank you, my brother. Appreciate you. We'll catch up on Friday.
All right, man. Take care.
You got it. There you go. Don't forget, use our code BIGO10. You'll get 10% off at Caneswear. I think I got this hat at Caneswear a long time ago. Anyway, you get all kinds of Panther stuff, all kinds of Panther gear. Since your Panthers are about to win the Stanley Cup, you can get Heat gear, you can get Dolphins gear, you can get InterMiami, Messi shirts, Messi jerseys, all kinds of stuff, man. So check it out there at Canes. Hell, they even got, there's like a baseball team in town, I think. I think they have some stuff from that baseball team. Yeah, they probably have something there in the clearance rack or something. So you can check it out, Canes. Where use our code BIGO10, you will get 10% off. And remember, for those of you that live out of town or you live a little too far, if you order online over $99, you will get free shipping. Caneswear.com.